back to another episode of the Canadian Watch Monkey, and today I thought I'd show you guys how to polish up a badly scratched bracelet. Okay, so you can see here this has got a lot of wear and tear on it, and I'm gonna make this thing look like new again. Now I have a choice of keeping it like a satin finish, or I can go to high polish. On this one here, I'm just gonna keep it as a kind of more of a satin finish or brushed look. The reason being is that this would just be a scratch magnet. It would just be crazy trying to keep this type of bracelet looking as new for any length of time. You can see I've got this end taped off. The reason being is on this particular watch here, here's the actual watch head. It's a Bauman Mercer, and it's got these weird end links here. It's made of four pieces, and you got to kind of keep them together, or else they kind of flop all over the place. So it's going to be a little bit tricky. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do this properly by actually taking it off the watch head. Don't have to do that, but it's definitely the better way to do it. I'm just going to move the camera down for a sec so you guys can see what I'm doing. All right, so here is what I use. Sorry for the wobble of the camera there. Scotch-Brite pads or sanding pads or whatever you want to call them. This one here is more coarse, so this will take out the deeper scratches. And this one is a little more fine. This is about 500 grit. This is about 1000. And what I do is when I'm almost near the end, I will wet this pad with soap and water and just kind of brush the bracelet. Now, one thing you need to know is that you always want to go in the direction of the bracelet. You want to be going in this direction, not back and forth like this, all right? Well, theoretically, I guess you could go that way too if you've got some really deep scratches, but you're going to want to finish it by going with the direction of the bracelet, all right? So I'm going to put this down, and I'm going to show you how fairly quick this is done. I've just actually was doing this, and I thought I'm going to make a video on this. So I've actually started doing this, but I'll just quickly show you how it's done. All right, so I'm just going to hold on to this end here, again, because of the weirdness of the four end links. So all I'm going to do is go back and forth like this, and you're going to see how quickly this is going to look so much better than the other side. I'm going to leave the other side undone for now. Again, sorry about the camera wobble. Okay, so keep in mind too, this is the coarse grit. So I'm going to be going finer. And let's just take a look and see how that looks. So you can see in the camera, that's a lot better than that. And that was under a minute. All right. So again, I have a choice if I want to keep a satin finish, or if I want to go to a very brushed finish, or anything in between. And to go to high polish, that's very easy too. I've got some polishing compound, and I've got a wheel, and I can make this thing look like chrome if I wanted to. Wet sand paper also helps, so you can go to like a 2000 or even a 3000 grit, but I just use a polishing wheel. But anyway, I'm just going to continue on with this so you can see how nice this is going to turn out. And I'm just going to do the one side for you guys so you can see. And it's kind of funny, I hear people talking about their buckles on their watches getting so scratched up, and they wonder how to take it out. Well, this is how you would do it, and it takes literally 5 or 10 seconds. Okay, so now I'm going to switch over to a 1000 grit. So this, of course, is going to take some of those heavier scratches that was introduced by the other 500 grit and bring it to a finer, more satiny finish. Again, I'm just going to do the small area here for you guys. I'm going to be doing the whole bracelet event after I'm done with the camera work here, and later on I'll take some pictures of the watch and the bracelet when it's completely done. So all I'm doing is I'm going back and forth, Yes, you can go back and forth. You don't have to go one direction like this. Sorry guys, I was off camera there. So back and forth is fine. Just don't be going like that when you get closer towards what the finished product is going to be like. Okay, so I'm going to stop there, and I'm pretty much done. I'll be using soap and water too, but I don't want to make a mess here, so I'm not going to be doing that. Oh, I've got one of the links here. And see for yourselves, that looks pretty dang good if you ask me. So that was before, and this is after. All right, I can do the sides as well. I can polish them, I can brush them, whatever. But I think for me, I'm just going to keep it as a satin type finish rather than a high polish. And I'll clean up the case a little bit here too. Now, one thing you need to know, for doing this type, if you got the bezel here scratched up, to do this, now you can tape this up. This is sapphire glass, so this doesn't scratch very easy. And all you would need to do is put it down like this and just keep rotating in a circular motion like this. This will not scratch your sapphire glass. If it's not sapphire glass, you're going to make one hell of a mess. And then you just flip that over and it will take all the scratches there. Again, if you've got deep scratches, you can use the red and then switch over to the gray, depending on how smooth you want to make it. So that's a wrap for today, guys. Just a really quick, simple, short video on how to take your scratches out of your watch. Let me zoom in a little closer to the watch for you guys so you can, or the bracelet, and you can see it turns out beautiful, and it takes literally minutes. Okay, so very simple to do. Again, these are just, you can get these at hardware stores or automotive. They're just basically sanding pads, all right? This is the 500 grit. This is about 1,000, and you can get anything in between. So you can see that it's a very simple process, no big deal at all. Hope you guys enjoyed that episode of the... All right, I'm back. I've done the final bit that I needed to get done, and that was to use the soap and water with the 1,000 grit that I was using here. And just take it, show you a quick look at it, and you can see it turned out really nice. I'll get close up in a moment. I did the case side here as well, using a little soap and water, and again, the 1,000 grit. Now, if you want to get the radial brushing back in and across the lugs and that, like you'll typically see, the trick is, again, you'd use the same sanding pad. You just put it down on a sponge, something soft like this, so that the watch can sink into it. And all you do is just push down like this, and you want to make sure you keep it pretty steady, and you just keep going back and forth like this, and you'll get that radial brushing back in. Again, if your watch isn't fitted with sapphire glass, do not do this, or if you've got air coating on the outside. And you can see there, it finishes off the bezel very nicely and reintroduces the radial type brushing in the lugs as well. So I'm just going to zoom up so you can take a little bit closer look at it, so you can see that what I'm telling you is the absolute truth. So you can see the radial brushing here and here. All right. And you can see how nice that the links on the bracelet look. Now, if you found this informative, please leave a comment, a like, and also subscribe if you haven't already done so to the Canadian Watch Monkey. Again, I really appreciate your guys' support. And I'm very pleased with the results of this. Just going to get this pad out, and I'll throw the watch on wrist for you. I'm just going to zoom back out. Whoops, okay. And keep in mind, this watch was made in the 1990s, and late 1990s, mind you. And looks like a new watch again, with very little effort. Okay, and like I said, if I wanted to go to high polish, I could do that too. Not a problem at all. So there you have it. Tips and tricks of watch ownership by the Canadian Watch Monkey. All right, take care, guys. Have a good one.